Hi, this is Joshua Adam Blesi, the Josh Show, Jabadier, Athlete Walkfire, your host here today. I'd like to welcome you to the show today. It is March 19th, 2021, and we are here today to interview the well-trained monkey, Wayne Sayres from Music One Network and his multinational instrumental thingy here. And he's here to kind of come onto my show, tell me all about himself, because I'm all about trying to end this crazy ass world by saving it. He's here to try to help me figure this out because, you know, we're not quite sure about it. So as for usual, I've got my coffee, I've got my smoke, and I've got a well-trained monkey to help me. Welcome aboard, Wayne.
Thank you very much, Josh. It's great to be here today. And yeah, we'll get to talking on that business of you saving the world versus not saving the world. Anyway, yes, let's save the world, or we'll see what we can do about that. Sounds like I might have to change your mind on some issues, but anyway, yes, I'm very honored to be here.
I appreciate that. Well, as I welcome my guest here today, I kind of want to find out more about you. Tell me what you're all about. I'd like to understand what is a well-trained monkey and how well does he do that, you know?
Right on. Yes. Well-Trained Monkey is the name of my one-person band, and I came up with that name after an incident several years ago where I was called up by a temp company, a staffing company, to go and do some work filing. And one hears filing and thinks to themselves, sure, alphanumeric filing, chronological filing, I can do this sort of thing. And so I reported to the place, and it was a warehouse. The supervisor welcomed me and sat me down at a desk in a big room full of crates. And he opened a crate with a crowbar and pulled out of the box, out of the crate, a little tiny box. And in the box, there was a plumbing screw, and he pointed to the threads of the plumbing screw and said, all right, Wayne, you see where there are these little metal shavings around the threads to the plumbing screw? Yeah, they screwed up in the manufacturing process. Those should not be there. We need you to file those. And so instead of working with sheets of paper and folders, I was working with a metal file, which he then handed me, and I was going... I was actually physically filing the metal shavings off of these plumbing screws and thinking to myself, wow, a well-trained monkey could do this. And then it occurred to me, you know, that's actually not a bad name for a band. Maybe that is the name. And then it, of course, became the name of my band for the next several years to this day. And I do recordings, I do live casts occasionally on Facebook Live, as well as on Twitch TV now and then. And I have a good time with it. And I have had guests join me at times in live settings. And additionally to that, I play in some other bands. But let's see, is that a good answer for why I'm a well-trained monkey? Great.
Like I said, I want to learn more about you, kind of find out what you're all about, kind of a deal.
Yes.
And so, you know, ask you these questions of like, you know, so do you have a general genre you like to stay in, or you're a one-man band, so you obviously play a lot of different instruments. Which one was your first one? Which one did you start with?
Sure. Yes. I started in elementary school when my mom, who was a big fan of the saxophone, asked me if I would like to play, and I said sure. And so I was 11 years old. I enrolled in 5th grade band, and at the time my instructor was a really nice guy who, this is funny to me, but here's the mouthpiece of the saxophone. I didn't realize for I don't know how long that actually this is the right side up on the mouthpiece if you've got it like this. I was initially playing it upside down like this, which it didn't really work very well, but like eventually, yeah, it's like, think of this as
I guess we have a little bit of a video connection here, so give it a second to catch up. It's either on my end or something here, but say something again, because.
Oh, sure. Yes. Okay. Yes, your image seems frozen, unfortunately, but hopefully we'll be able to thaw you out and continue.
Now we just need to get some video back from you. Put you in the dark there.
Right, you're in the dark on my end. So I hit stop video for a moment, and now are we back? Are we back up?
Yep, we're all back and good to go.
Great.
It's okay. It's me figuring you out, trying to stop you from telling me all about yourself there. Anyway,
yes.
So you're talking about the mouthpiece, right? You were playing it backwards at first, and now you're you had to kind of figure out, now here's the right way to play it, right?
I think a classmate of mine showed me that this is in fact the right side up way to have your mouthpiece on your saxophone neck. And so that was helpful, and I never looked back. I never turned the mouthpiece upside down again. And
was there a distinct difference in playing it then when you first started? Do you realize that it was working really well for you? Better when you were turning it right way?
Yes, it worked far better once I had the mouthpiece correctly configured. And so then I learned to play the saxophone, and I really loved it. I loved playing in band, and then eventually I moved on to a few years later where I got my first electric guitar. Thanks again, Mom and Dad. And that was a trickier instrument to learn how to play. I enrolled in a crash course at Schmidt Music in Burnsville, Minnesota. And that's a little better placement on the mic. But I struggled with learning to play guitar in the very beginning. It's not really something that exactly comes naturally, but I like to think that out of all the other losers in that Schmidt Music crash course, I persevered, and now I'm a guitar playing guy. So that was fun. I learned, my first song that I learned was dun, 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 dun. Of course, Smoke on the Water. Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
That, right? It's always Smoke on the Water, Stairway to Heaven, or some other riff, Metallica, something like that. Whatever you're going to be.
Yes.
So, back to one of my other questions that I want to revisit is, do you have a specific genre you like to stay in? Is there classic rock, heavy metal? Do you do your own music writing for your own songs, or do you just do cover band? What kind of music?
I like to say that I am in the, I describe it as electro-calypso music, although maybe it's now perhaps just more electro-funk. I dabble with electronics and groove boxes, so that allows me to have backing tracks that I can accompany myself with on the guitar and or saxophone and vocals. But as far as covers, which I like to do a lot of covers, I do gravitate towards classic rock a lot. In my list of covers, I have some Blue Oyster Cult, I have some Led Zeppelin. What else? I have a list in here right in front of me. I've got a Talking Heads tune. So let's see. Yes, lots of covers done in my style. So it's.
Well, that's kind of what I wanted to figure out, is what kind of style you're playing. Is there anything coming up in the future that you're planning for as far as your career is going? Do you see yourself going somewhere a little bit more? I know COVID is here and we can't go outside and perform, but I know you've been performing because I saw you yesterday on M&O. And, even though we had some video issues and some sound issues, I still got the gist of how you play and what you play. Maybe we'll have to tell you a little bit after all of this going on. But,
cool.
It's one of those things where I find out more about you. So anything interesting about you personally you want us to know?
I am sharing a link in the chat to a new release that I just put out yesterday. This is a little bit different for me, even though I put it out on my Well Trained Monkey Bandcamp page. I am marketing it or I'm calling it just Wayne Sayres music because I think it's maybe a little bit more professional sounding than Well Trained Monkey. And this particular piece that I put together here is called Wayne Sayres Music, the elevator pitch. And I called it that because I wanted to give people an idea of what kind of music I can produce and perhaps what kind of parts I could add to your music if we're going to maybe do a collaboration, or if you are somebody who is in the, say, radio production arena and you're looking for backing tracks. I like to think that some of these might provide some cool music beds for commercials, because who doesn't like commercials? Let's cut to a commercial. No, let's not. I'm just kidding. I don't think this has commercials, but
no, we don't have commercials, but that's okay, because I was like, I could use a theme song. I could use a couple different things there.
Oh, I'd love to.
That's how you can help.
Yes.
You know, I have to warn you, I do this with all of my guests. I have my evil plan all ready to go, and I've been working on it. It's all filled out and ready to go. So, you know, I'm just waiting to implement that at the right time. Right now, I'm biding my time so that my army can grow and stuff like that. So what are your ideas to help me bring this all together? Because my ultimate goal is to bring us together so we can save this world. Ultimately, if that doesn't work, well, I'll just blow it all up, you know.
All right. So, those are exciting plans. And I think that my music will provide a... Uh-oh, we're having audio issues again. I'm not able to hear this portion of the question.
Unstable work, wait. Anyway, so, you know, yeah, we're experiencing some, you know, what do they call it, you know, some
glitches.
Later went offline. Yeah, something like that. So I guess my real question for you today is, as we're going forward, and the thing that I'm honestly trying to do with this is, I'm the anti-hero, and I want you, everybody out there, to go to his site and subscribe to his channel, go and support him, stuff like that. That's how you're going to stop me, because bringing people like Wayne into the fold, helping us become better community members, becoming better people in general, sharing, caring, giving our artistry out to the world, that's what we're really all about. You know, that's what we want to do. Everyone has a talent. Everyone has a thing that they need to do in this world. Me, well, I'm a makeshift podcaster trying to be a comedian, and I just go off of my personality and doing what I'm doing. You know, I've met a couple of interesting people through this. I've got a ton of interviews coming up, which I'm actually really excited about. You're my first, but you won't be my last. Working on the evil laugh. You know, I'm just a beginning villain. I'm not to the, you know, megalomaniac villain yet, you know, so that's what I'm opportunity.
Yeah, well,
hero eventually.
You'll get that evil laugh down, and it'll be like riding a bike. You'll take to it like a duck to water. You'll be laughing in the pink. Your tonsils will be ululating. I don't know. All right. Yes. I like this evil dichotomy, though. I like it that you're approaching it in a really positive way. You're acknowledging the evil that exists deep within your heart, but yet you're doing something good with it, I think. So yeah, I like that aspect of this.
Like I said, people keep trying to stop me, so but
I'd say watch some old episodes of J.A.W. and Cobra Commander and Destro. Those guys will bring the evil. Oh no, you're frozen again. Do you have enemies that are using freeze rays on you? Okay, now you're back. Good.
I said maybe music is the answer here. Maybe that's your answer to saving the world. You want to put that music out there so we can all dance and get
Sure.
behind that crazy stuff so we can get going and stuff like that. But maybe you have a different idea. What's your community outreach? Is there something you're trying to bring people together with your music or anything you're doing in general? Just,
I find music
I
to
don't know.
be,
Maybe give me ideas.
yes, music is highly beneficial and therapeutic for me. In addition to my well-trained monkey act, I played in a bunch of great Minneapolis bands for probably the last 15 years or so, including Space Monster, Awesome Cups, and I would sit in with my buddies Velasa now and then, and Black Widows and Apocalypse Theater. And most of the time when I was playing with those groups, I would be playing saxophone because although I do play guitar, most bands got their guitar aspect covered. So yeah, I played in a bunch of bands and I found it to be just, just my favorite way of spreading love and positivity, sharing the vibes.
Yeah, well, I just, like I said, have been working here trying to get people to come on, pay more close. That's my real evil plan, is to actually save the world. I just want to get you motivated to do that. So, but more than anything, it's important that one of the things I've been talking about recently on my show is how that, like with my show, I've been talking a lot about the share culture. Instead of the cancel culture, we need to have a share culture where we share our cultures, we share our ideas, we share our visions for what this world to actually be. There are a lot of things out there right now that could help us all obtain that. If we did a little bit of sharing, if we did a little bit of offering our help to others, if everyone did it, we would be in a society where there wouldn't be hunger, there wouldn't be famine, there wouldn't be disease, because we'd all be working towards together. It's the Star Trek typical,
right,
quote unquote, we're not quite ready for civilization. Well, yeah, but it's got to start somewhere. Well, a lot of people have tried to destroy the world through their own personal crazy ideas of what the world should be like. I don't think everyone needs to be right or one thing needs to be right. I want us to all kind of come together and contribute to something that's going to help us move us forward. Like 3D printing. We can print a lot of things without having to worry about materials being a thing fast. We've got chemicals that can do that now, and with all the recycling we're doing and everything. Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of like one of those deals.
Right. You seem very forward thinking, Josh.
Like,
I have a question for you now.
Yeah,
This kind of dovetails into what you were just saying about advancing forward and Star Trek and all that. And I know that Elon Musk, I'm not always really a fan of his, but he certainly seems to be getting things done. Elon Musk has said he wants to send 1 million people to Mars for a colony by, I think, 2050. Would you like to go to Mars? I'm pretty interested. I would go live on Mars. That sounds just it sounds exciting to me. How about you? Would you like to go live on Mars?
I figure I have one planet to deal with all. Nope, I have one planet to deal with already. I don't need another one.
That's a good point.
The people on Mars take care of Mars. They can go have their. I'll go for a visit. I'll go for a stay. I don't know if I'd want to live there quite yet.
Right.
But,
yeah, I understand.
I kind of like I said, our world before we go fixing others.
Sure, that's a valid point.
Things are going to happen on Mars that are happening on Earth.
Yes.
On that. So.
Yes. True. Right.
So, but it's one of those deals where the whole movement I'm working on right now is just getting people to understand that it doesn't take a lot to bring us together. It just brings us together when we work together. And just saying, okay, I don't agree with you politically. I don't agree with you religiously. I don't agree with you all this. But what I do agree with you is no one needs to be hungry. No one needs to be without a home. No one needs to be that stuff. There's stuff we can agree on that we could work on. whether your way of getting there or not is A versus B, or B versus C, or D equals A, MC squared, plus to the 12th power of whatever craziness is in my head.
Yes. Stop the hate, amplify the love. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
I think hate reminds us what's important. We must always remember that we can flip back very easily. There's always that. It's easier to give into your fear and to your hatred than it is to give into your love. Now, medical science says exactly the opposite. It's actually better for you to be happier and communicative than working together. So it's kind of like one of those things. Faith and science both have the same agenda. We both want the world to be a better place. You know, they just have to work in concert, whereas I don't have to tell you how to believe in order for science to be a good thing, or religion has to be highest on the pedestal so that science doesn't have. Why can't we have both? And that's been my mission, is just kind of make people realize.
Right. I like to think
as we're finishing up our segment here, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I like to think of art as perhaps one of the bridges where science and religion can meet in the middle.
Yep, technical art are universal. They all have the same notes or some use different acrylics, different paintbrushes, but it's ultimately designed to do one thing: put your expression of yourself out into the world for other people to view, and allow them to view that in a way where they can find something within themselves to grow or change, or maybe realize something within themselves, or to see a pretty picture, you know?
Right.
I've had some 5-year-olds in my life who brought me pretty pictures that I thought were actually pretty amazing, you know? I've had some friends and family members who are really artistic, and other people who are artistic now. Did you hear me?
No, sorry. Hi, how about...
Would you like up and share some of your music?
Sure, I would love to. Yes, I have here an original composition that I'll do for you called Surfenstein, and it's kind of it is an original tune, and it's been a while since I've played it, so we'll see if I remember how it goes. And I know from my experience yesterday, I'm going to probably want to turn down my gear a little bit because the volume of my speaking is different than the volume of the music. So I'll just take care of that for a moment, and then I'll launch into the piece.
All right, I'll talk with everybody. I want to remind everybody to join us next week, 10 o'clock Fridays, here live and here on YouTube to view our next episode coming up. We'll be concluding this episode soon with my special guest, Wayne Sayres, as he's getting ready to play us an original tune. I want to say thank you very much for being here with me and helping me stop my evil plan, because just you being here today already started to work its way into my heart. So thank you for being here.
Most definitely, Joshua. Thank you.
You go right ahead. And I'm going to mute myself. I'll give you the whole stage when you're ready. We'll say our goodbyes.
Okay, sounds good. Having technical issues. All right, there we go. Surfing Stein by Well Trained Monkey. And hopefully that worked. Hopefully, I can't hear you now, but hopefully you were able to hear me. And anyway, my pleasure to play for you, Josh. I think the freeze ray is in effect again. You've got some enemies out there, Josh. They're trying to freeze you in the frame. Freeze frame! Freeze frame! Freeze frame! Bow! No freeze. Sorry. Okay. Oh, wait, I get it. You're on mute. You're on mute. You're muted. I'm going to put that in the chat. Josh.
I got it.
There we go. There. I know. I've done that too. Everybody's done that. Don't worry about it.
It's okay. You know, it's Chinese monologue type. Whatever. It doesn't matter. That's not important. That's not what's important. It's important that we came here together and we shared stuff. So I'd like to say thank you once again to you for being part of it. If you'd like to say your goodbyes, and we can put up where should they go to find you? Welltrainedmonkey.com, or what kind of website should they go to see you on YouTube? What?
I will share a bunch of links in the chat, but twitch.tv Well-Trained Monkey is one place you can find me. I have a Facebook page, as everyone does these days. I'm gonna find, let's see here. I have a oh shoot, how do I do this now? I've got to.
Well, you can always share the links with me later, and I'll make sure all the
yes
those links.
Right. Yeah, so, sounds good.
Share those links. I'll share those links on the site there. As soon as we set it up there, as well as in the YouTube links. So thank you again. Appreciate everyone coming to the show. I would like to say goodbye to my special guest, Wayne. And here I am once again. We'll see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe. Thank you so much for having me, Josh. I had a blast. Have a great day, my friend.
Good.